In Super Bowl VII, the 1972 Miami Dolphins collided headfirst with destiny, defeating the Washington Redskins to secure the first and only undefeated season in NFL history. Ironically, Miami's greatest victory came nearly a year to the day following its greatest defeat. In Super Bowl VI, the Dallas Cowboys humiliated the inexperienced Dolphins, dominating Miami 24-3 in a game that left an indelible impression on the Dolphins' young team.
We were so excited to be there in the Super Bowl, I think we forgot about the game. We weren't focused enough.
We took a great lesson from that. Everybody to a man dedicated himself not only to get back to a Super Bowl, but to win it.
The next year, Miami returned to training camp more mature and determined to make amends for the Dallas debacle.
We had to play like the only redemption that could be possible would be to go back and relive the opportunity to redeem ourselves in the last game that you play of the year.
The Dolphins did not seek perfection. Nevertheless, their style of play yielded that result. Led by an offense that finished first in the NFL in total points scored, Miami performed each week with an intense sense of commitment to reaching team goals.
We were so focused and so intent on proving that we were better than the year before that we got a little icing on the cake, which represents 17-0.
How you doing, Earl? Nice to meet you, man. Desmond Clark.
Yeah, Desmond.
The 72 Dolphins remain a close-knit group, one no longer tied together by the need to prove itself, but rather by the desire to reunite regularly to celebrate its achievement.
Well, you know, we are a unique team that had that tremendous accomplishment, and I think that that's brought us closer together. This team is really bonded together, and the fact that we get resurrected every year when somebody goes 6-0 or 7-0, they talk about the 72 Dolphins.
Often such discussions fail to properly recognize a defense that complemented its offense by being ranked first in the league. Despite their impressive credentials, the 1972 Miami Dolphins are not usually mentioned near the top in any list of the NFL's greatest teams.
When people from Pittsburgh or San Francisco or Green Bay or Chicago talk about how their team was better than the 72 Dolphins, I kind of get a kick out of it. It doesn't really piss me off. It kind of pleases me that they're the ones that are placing the argument on the table. That means they feel a need to argue.
In a league now governed by parity, there is little debate concerning the improbability of anyone duplicating Miami's accomplishment. The perfect season is not likely to happen again anytime soon. But it is a guarantee that the members of the 72 Dolphins will continue to gather each year for a commemorative toast to honor their season.
We're proud of that record. You know, and the toast is really toasting the fact that the record is still a record for another year.
The longer it goes, the more special it becomes. We want to keep it ours. I'd like to get it through at least the first 100 years of the NFL. Then, you know, think about letting somebody else do it.
In 1985, the Chicago Bears became a cult phenomenon that had crazed fans all over America singing the same tune.
Yeah, man! Should we give them the finger? Yeah, man! We're number one, we're number one, we're number one.
I think we captured the imagination of this city, Chicago, in a big way, but we captured the imagination of a lot of people in a lot of other cities because these were just a bunch of guys having fun. They were having fun playing football.
The Bears' fun came at their opponent's expense, steamrolling offenses and rendering them useless. In one midseason stretch, Chicago went on a roll, outscoring 3 opponents by a combined 104-3 margin. The most anticipated game in Monday Night Football history would feature these 12-0 Bears attempting to create their own legacy, and Miami trying to preserve the legacy of the NFL's only unbeaten team.
They were undefeated, and they had a chance of breaking the Dolphins' record. And it was Monday Night Football and the hype, the Orange Bowl, which is a great place to play.
You could just feel the electricity in the stands. The people were there early, and you could feel the buzz, the excitement.
And our players knew the importance of the ball game because Chicago was very, very good. And we knew that if we didn't do it, somebody else might not do it.
Don Shula coached the 72 Dolphins to football's only perfect season and would now have to lead his 85 team to preserve that distinction. With members of the 72 Dolphins present, Miami did its best imitation of the no-name defense, frustrating and battering the Bears. The Dolphins' confidence on defense carried over to an offense that executed an almost flawless game plan.
We were the only offense that matched up well enough that we could negate the famed 46 defense.
Everybody else that had played the Bears would bring everybody in tight to try to stop the blitz. So we decided to spread everybody out. And we'd take an extra wide receiver, put him into the ball game, our slot receiver.
We were running quick ins, quick outs, and after we get the ball to Clayton, he's going to run 30 yards.
Marino torched the Bears secondary for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns by employing a strategy that attacked Chicago's blitzing defense with a 3-receiver set.
The game plan was max protect and let those guys outside do their thing.
Marino always would recognize where the free blitzer would be coming from, and that Moore would break his route off, knowing that Dan wouldn't have a lot of time. Fensick or Plank would have to make the tackle on that Moore in an open field. And that game plan worked to perfection.
10, 5, touchdown, Dolphins. Oh, what a play.
I thought that Don and his staff did probably as good a coaching job against a great football team defensively that you could have done. You know, they rolled out of the pocket, which wasn't Marino's strength, but he did it awfully well.
On a night where the destinies of 2 teams collided, one play was emblematic of the game and its eventual outcome.
There was one play in particular that went for a touchdown where the ball bounced off or skidded off Dan Hampton's helmet. And Mike Richardson had made a nice break on the ball. It went over his head. You know, it went for a touchdown.
Ball is deflected in the air. Caught by Clayton. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Miami.
And we were walking off the field, and Dan and I just looked at one another, and you go, it's not going to happen tonight.
Looking back, it was great that we were able to do that. Now you look back on your career and special games and what that game meant. It's even more gratifying.
The Bears went on to the Super Bowl and dominated in the Super Bowl. And that made you realize the importance of that one win because nobody else was going to be able to do it.